exclusive coverage. Open the base. The best MC battles.
Yo, what up, man? It's your boy Chris. Unbias Review.
Live from Atlanta, Georgia. Reviews, news, battle rap. With your host, Chris. Unbias Review.
Yo, what up, man? It's your boy Chris. Unbias Review checking in. I started a series a while ago called where I was giving you the battle rapper and their battle record. So I figured, coming off the little March event that URL had with DNA and Tech 9 hosting, I felt like it was only right. I might as well give you DNA's battle resume as far as I see it. He got a lot of battles, man. So he battled a dude, Prophet and AKA alone. That was one of his first battles on Grind Time or whatever. I'm not gonna really too much review those battles. So we'll just get into the first battle. I'll say was DNA versus Low Pesci. Pretty good battle by DNA. I'm not quite sure how old he was at the time he battled, because DNA only like 20, so the nigga mad young to have accomplished as much as he had. And when I first started watching DNA, I really wasn't feeling him, but he's warming up to me slowly but surely. But in this particular battle, this was judged, and it went to overtime or whatever, and they gave the battle to Low Pesci. So that was his one of his losses. He also battled a dude named Rome, who was a pretty decent white boy or whatever. He battled Awkwards and some other cats. So I mean, people know who he is. DNA battled him. Really good battle. I definitely think DNA took that battle. It seemed like he waxed him. It might have been like 3-0, maybe 2-1 or something. But he had a little prop at the end with the little machine gun type of artillery with the bullets and shit. Normally I don't really like props in a battle, but I actually like that prop, and the crowd went super crazy when he did it, so I give him props on that. So I thought he beat Rome. After that, let's move on to who was next? I guess we can move on to URL now. P. He battled P. You always hit a rumor, even in your P battle, you threw up on Smack. So Big T was saying that, but he battled P. P choked in this battle. Pretty much. It was a pretty good battle. I thought he was kind of getting in DNA ass a little bit, but he choked. DNA definitely won that battle. So that battle is done. And we ain't heard from P since. So that's pretty much the way that went down. You had Sue Surf. Now, I like Surf a lot, but this was like one of the worst URL battles. DNA wasn't good in this battle, and Surf wasn't good. This is like the battle of bad performances, probably from both parties. I think DNA won this battle 2-1. It's debatable. A lot of people rocking with Surf, but I just felt like DNA just was a little bit better than Surf's battle. So I got him winning this particular battle 2-1. There's a couple battles I'm gonna skip. Oh yeah, let me go back to Grind Time. He battled Rich Dollars. Now, I like Rich. Rich is cool. Rich got a lot of losses though, and this was another loss by Rich. In the first round, Rich pulled out his teeth, like some fake teeth. Did you need these? And he threw them on the ground. He stepped on them. I told you I don't really like props unless they done cleverly, and this one wasn't done cleverly. Then in round 3, he put some fake teeth in his mouth, saying this is what you look like. The nigga was just on too much bullshit. DNA, he wasn't great in this battle, but he was better than Rich Dollars. So that minus the props that Rich was using, which was mad corny, definitely DNA took that battle. So that was a Grind Time battle, 3 rounds or whatever. I think Rich lost, DNA won. Let me go to the 1-round battle we had with TRex. I don't really judge 1-round battles, so I'm not gonna really count this one. They really don't show who's a true winner of a battle, because TRex is nice, DNA is nice. I like TRex better than I like DNA, but DNA did well in this 1-round battle. You know, based on the crowd or whatever, it kind of appeared like he might have won the first, you know, this little 1-round battle. Rex was on a lot of his jokes, not as much as his gun talk like he normally spit. DNA was kind of coming at him like from start that your best battles are off cam. You Votto. That line was dope. The little math flips he said he used with the trigonometry, those were kind of nice. Like, he had some nice bars, so you know, definitely a good showing. But you know, DNA normally can give you a great round. So I mean, it would have been interesting to see how he followed up rounds 2 and 3 if it had actually went that long. And this is what was the Time is Money. I think that was the people that put this battle together. They ain't put out a battle since, so I don't really know if they didn't fell off. I don't know if this battle was like over a year old and they haven't dropped another battle yet. But anyway, man, you know, I don't know if we're gonna ever see a rematch or whatever. But 1-round battle, I'm not gonna judge it. It is what it is. Let me skip around Big T. He definitely lost to Big T, 2-1. Could be 3-0, but I might give him round 1. He was pretty good in round 1. That was the only round he was really good in. The other rounds he was doing R. Kelly flips and fat jokes. Smack brought the candles, brought the cake out, and Big T ate it with the candles in it. Like, stupid shit like that ain't gonna never beat Big T. Like, the nigga is just too clever. And rounds 2 and 3, he just killed DNA in my opinion. And actually, DNA said this might be the only battle he can really say that he might have lost. Like, he said he won on the polls, but you know, that was the only battle he felt he walked out of, and he said, you know, I might have lost this battle. So he didn't admit to losing, but he came very close to admitting to lose, and most people feel like he lost that battle. After that, let me jump to XFactor. I'm leaving the 2 controversial ones for later. XFactor. I thought XFactor beat him at Summer Madness. Maybe you can give DNA round 1, but XFactor was great in round 1 too. But I like the way he came back on XFactor with the whole, you know, about him being old, and you knew Young Ill when he was straight. You know, Smack when he was palm. Like, he just kind of had some clever shit to get the crowd back after XFactor had such a great round. Maybe you can give him round 1. I definitely thought XFactor won the next 2. I got XFactor winning that battle 2-1. So that's the way I have it. Now let's move on to Young Ill. DNA versus Young Ill. I feel like Young Ill won this battle. Barely. And I mean, when I first watched this battle, I was like, damn, you know, Young Ill kind of beat him 2-1. And it was like kind of easy. It was an easy decision for me. But you know, when you watch the DNA versus Low Pesci battle, he says in that battle, Low Pesci does, he says something about him being able to whistle with his mouth closed. He also says something about and is like DNA spelled backwards. So then when you fast forward to the Young Ill battle, those were 2 big things that Young Ill said in his battle too, when he was like, when he whistled and he was like, you can do that with your mouth closed. And you know, when he was doing that, and you never had a fight in your life, and I would right jab hook a nigga, and my Queens niggas want to know why, you know, all that kind of shit. Like, the nigga kind of like, I felt like, obviously when you battle somebody, you're gonna study their previous battles, and I felt like he took kind of what Pesci said and kind of like incorporated in his own way. So he didn't necessarily bite Pesci or spit something that he said, but he kind of took, and I felt like that and idea he might have got from that and ran with it and actually made it kind of dope, to be honest with you. Which I take a little bit of props off for Ill, but I still give him the battle. DNA, I didn't like DNA this battle at all. I mean, you might can give DNA round 1. You know, because Ill started off kind of slow. I definitely give Ill round 2. A lot of people kind of like, you know, Ill kind of, I guess somebody snitched DNA's round 2 to him about him using the crowd words from the crowd and flipping it. I felt like DNA, after Young Ill said, you know, don't be surprised if he asks for some crowd participation, blase, 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 DNA should have just freestyle out of that shit and called him out on it and just rapped about something different. I felt like DNA, somebody snitching DNA's round and then DNA still using a round, even though Young Ill called him out on it. I didn't like it as much. And also, I felt like the freestyle with the words, it went too long. When he got to Red Rum, which is murder backwards, when he got to Red Rum, he got a lot of crowd participation. It's like he should have stopped right there. But he kept going and he kept saying, you know, this dude is acting crazy, this dude is acting crazy, this dude is acting crazy. Like, that shit just wasn't even a good freestyle. So he lost round 2 to me. In round 3, he wasn't even battling Ill. You know, he started talking to Surf, then he started giving his life story, then he started talking about, you know, you never struggle like me, you know, just different little shit. You know, he had a couple little nice little lines about him being in someplace overseas, Israeli, Pakistan, something shit. He was like the toughest situation you ever been in was squeezing into them skinny jeans. Like, he had a couple things, but I felt like he was going for the sympathy vote in round 3, and I didn't like that at all. So in my opinion, even though Young Ill wasn't great, he was better in round 3 than I like DNA. So I edged Young Ill 2-1. One of my problems with Young Ill too, he got too many debatable battles with people he should be killing, but we'll do Young Ill later. After that, you got Disaster. Disaster was a very, very great battle. It's one of the best battles of 2011. Like, real talk. Like, the shit is just dope. Yeah, the Disaster battle was like one of the best battles of 2011. Disaster's first round is probably one of the best rounds I ever heard. Like, you can put that up there with like Rich Dollars and the XFactor Priorities in round 3. You can put that with Averb Hitman in round 3. Like, the way he crafted that round, he definitely got DNA in round 1. I got DNA winning round 2. Or the Disaster winning 1, DNA winning 2. Disaster was pretty decent in 3, but they both was a little bit off their game in round 3. But Disaster, talking to that heckler and getting, you know, cursing him out and getting kind of off his bars and losing focus, I just felt like, you know, his lack of professionalism that he showed, he kind of let the crowd get to him, and then he kind of like lost where he was and just picked up and just started freestyling. Like, shit just wasn't. DNA freestyle was just okay too in that round, but at least, you know, Disaster basically stopped his round and started talking to the crowd. Like, I wasn't feeling that. So in my opinion, Disaster lost that battle to 2-1 DNA. I heard he beat Tech 9. We'll see when the footage come out. So that'll be a good look. Tech 9 was on a winning streak. You know, it's karma, man. You get on blogs talking about you the best and then you lose. Like, every nigga do that shit. So, looking at it, man, I got wins for DNA. I got Disaster, good win. I got Surf. I got Unbias. I got Rome. Rich Dollars. And that's pretty much it. I mean, I ain't gonna really judge the Rex battle, but losses, XFactor, Big T, and Young Ill. Those are 3 big battle rappers in URL, 3 popular people. And he basically has not beat them, in my opinion. He lost to all 3. So, no, but he's improving. He had a great battle with Disaster. If he beat Tech 9, he's on his way. So, I mean, it's about time DNA get matched up with a true heavyweight, even though Big T is a heavyweight and he failed. But it's about time he get probably matched up with another one. I think he might have learned a lot from that Big T battle. You know, if you want to go bar crazy, you might can get DNA and Calico. And both them niggas got bars, so that might be a pretty good battle. DNA got a tooth now, so niggas got to come with a whole new angle on DNA. But, so no more tooth jokes. It's Unbiased Review, man. DNA battle resume. Holla at your boy.